I'm Dan Sturkle, Executive Manager of Nissan of Valencia. We're about to embark on an all-new football season. For fans, it will be fun and entertaining, but for the players, these boys becoming men, it's years and years of work and effort that will be remembered by a moment. That run with the rock through tacklers reaching for air, that catch in the end zone in the final seconds to win the game, the hit that preserves victory for your team. In high school football, we learn winning comes from losing, and that sacrifice creates discipline. That fighting for the man next to you means more than fighting for yourself. Winners don't know the score. Winners know striving for perfection means achieving excellence. What you do defines who you are. Who will emerge as champions in 2014? I already told you.
It's game time. Let's do it.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the 2014 Nissan of Valencia High School Football Preview Show. I'm Dave Caldwell, and in the next hour, we're going to introduce you to the players, the coaches, and reveal the goals and aspirations for all 8 Santa Clarita High School football teams. Last year was one of the best seasons of high school football the Santa Clarita Valley has ever seen. The CIF Southern Section Northern Division Championship game saw the Hart Indians hold on to win over the Foothill League champion Valencia Vikings, a team that had to beat the Saugus Centurions in the semifinals to get to that championship game. Trinity Classical Academy won the 8-man Division II CIF championship, and Santa Clarita Christian made it to the postseason for the second time since moving up to 11-man football. And while every team is affected by graduation and turnover, the biggest news during the offseason comes from the CIF as they have realigned the divisions. Foothill League is no longer part of the Northern Division, but instead the brand new West Valley Division that includes powerhouses such as Mission Viejo, Huntington Beach, and last year's Inland Division runner-up, Vista Murrieta. So after this quick break, I'll introduce you to the 5-time defending Foothill League champions, the Valencia Vikings. The 2014 Santa Clarita High School Football Preview Show is brought to you by Nissan of Valencia, home of the $99 down delivers.
Hi, I'm Dan Sturkle, General Manager of Nissan Valencia. I'm the all-new Dan Sturkle. Since that last commercial, I've lost over 99 pounds. What better way to celebrate than, you guessed it, $99 down delivers. Interested in the all-new redesigned 2014 Nissan Rogue? How about the all-new 2014 Versa Note with up to 40 miles to the gallon? Take one home today for only $99 down. Credit issues? Who gives a hoot? Not our banks. And with our great low prices, you get into the vehicle you want with only $99 down. So what are you waiting for? Go to nissanofvalencia.com.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments, time with friends, lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's, be a sub above.
Since 1978, Sierra Canyon School has been developing leaders for the future, a place where young minds are inspired, motivated, and empowered, where relationships are cultivated in diverse settings, and where curiosity, confidence, and creativity are nurtured. We specialize in customized education for the artist, the athlete, the scholar, and the dreamer. Sierra Canyon School, fostering a community of excellence. Located less than 20 minutes from Santa Clarita in the San Fernando Valley.
Welcome back to the 2014 Nissan of Valencia High School Football Preview Show. The Foothill League champion from a year ago is the Valencia Vikings, claiming their 5th title in a row and their 4th outright championship. To say this team has become a dynasty may be an understatement. In addition to the titles, the Vikings are 31-3-1 in the last 7 years in Foothill League play. Head coach Larry Muir often talks about rebuilding during the offseason, but this summer, he already likes what he sees.
Well, it's been a great offseason. Our kids have done a really good job, I think, of hitting the weight room and doing the things that they're supposed to do in the offseason. So where we're at right now, I like where we're at. I like our progress. They've put the work in the offseason to get where they need to be.
That offseason was filled with a lingering memory. a CIF championship loss to arch rival Hart on the Vikings' home field. That memory initially motivated the team.
I think it was in their minds a lot early in the off season, but as the off season has gone, though, I think that has kind of gotten more and more distant. I think January and February, I think the kids kind of thought about it and talked about it, just trying to hear it a little bit. But as we've gone, though, that becomes more in your rearview mirror and more about where we're going as a team and how's the new team going to form and the relationships that are formed and the commitment together. So that becomes more prevalent over what had happened in the past.
Quarterback Jake Wallace had a great season for the Vikings in 2013, completing 65% of his passes for nearly 4,000 yards and 33 touchdowns, earning first-team All-League honors. He has graduated. Junior Cole Parkinson is now the signal caller, a leader Muir tags as someone special to watch.
He's got all the skill sets and the physical skill sets. I think he's still developing as a thrower. He's still developing his throwing motion and those kind of things. But he's got that internal competitiveness inside of him that you want to see in your quarterback. He's got a lot of personality. He's a guy that's, he's always talking and he's always involved in something. He's got those intangible things that you look for a quarterback. So as he progresses, as he learns the offense more and more, and he develops his attributes as a quarterback and his leadership, I just think the sky's the limit for him. He really, really is a special player. I think he's going to be fun to watch.
J.J. Wilson may very well be one of those players you say, I remember him when. A 4-year starter at Valencia, the 6'3", 230-pound receiver and free safety missed the championship game last year. Many believe his absence was the difference in the game.
I'm motivated a lot from that game, but I mean, the past is the past. It is what it is. And this year, I'm not trying to work to get there. I'm trying to work to get past that and win that CIF championship and get to the state championship and bring that back to Valencia High School.
He's had a great offseason. He's now up to 230 pounds and working hard in the weight room. So I think he's going to be really special to watch this year.
Running back Stone Jackson saved his best for last a year ago. The 3-year starter rushed for 363 yards and added another 145 yards receiving in the playoffs, topping it off with 170 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground in the championship game.
At the end of the year, I thought he was playing as well as any running back, and I thought he did a really great job. And so the key for him is to kind of keep that momentum going from the last year and this offseason and keep that going and going into this season. I think he can have a terrific senior year. I mean, he is a special player. And you can see him so far in practice that he's head and shoulders ahead of where he was last year.
The Vikings offensive line has 2 All-League players returning to the trenches, senior Tyler Bjorklund and junior Trevor Hendrickson. They also have experience and size with returning starters Shea Vandevenner and Trevor Hurley, who comes back after breaking his leg mid-season.
So we got some depth in there. We have some size and some experience, so we're excited about that. That's when you have that up front, that makes all the difference in the world. So we're excited that we have that.
On the defense, the Vikings will have to replace All-Leaguers Justin Sun, Alex Tapia, Spencer Hickson, Josh Stanton, and of course, the Defensive Player of the Year in the Foothill League, Jordan Wynn.
He's going to be a lot to make up for, but we really like Justin Florian and James McClellan as our defensive ends. They've had a really good offseason. Really like how they're progressing. Taylor Manuel, defensive lineman, has done a really good job. So if those young guys can really develop, we really like that. And Sean Teams, I mean, he's just, he's kind of an undersized guy, but he is pound for pound as good as a football player as I've seen. Our secondary, obviously JJ back there is a physical presence. And Tyree White, who played strong safety for us last year. And then Gavin Butler played corner for us as a sophomore, so he's returning. And Joseph Ordaz, he played, strong safety for us and some corner for us. And so he's coming back as another corner. So those guys all have got experience underneath them.
According to Muir, the key for the Vikings' success this fall will be how well the team comes together.
As we move forward into August and we push forward, that will everything kind of come together and those relationships really kind of tighten up together, and that commitment becomes not about themselves, but about the guy next to them and that kind of stuff. And as that grows as a group, I think you're going to see this team be able to do special things in the future. I think that's one of the keys to our success will be their commitment to each other.
So let's look at Valencia's schedule, and you can see it's a very difficult non-league schedule. In fact, of all the Foothill League teams, this non-league schedule is the toughest. Chaminade, the defending state champions in Division II, and Centennial won the Inland Division Championship and lost to St. John Bosco in the Southern California Regional. For the second year in a row, the Canyon Cowboys finished second in league, and for the second year in a row, their only loss was to Valencia. 14 players from the Canyon Cowboys were named to the All-League team, the same number as the Vikings. But the Cowboys lose 8 senior starters on offense and 7 senior starters on defense. For Rich Gutierrez, now going into his 4th year as the head coach at Canyon, the word for 2014 is youth.
I'm really excited. You know, we have a great group of kids, a lot of youth. We're really young, obviously, you know, graduating our senior class from last year. Great group of kids going out, but, you know, a lot of new kids coming in this year. A lot of enthusiasm, really coachable. They push, a lot of mental toughness, and I'm excited about that. So when you have sophomores, juniors, and then you have a flavor, you know, a real combination of seniors that come in, it brings a great punch.
Gone is Foothill League MVP Cade Apsey, now in the mix for the starting quarterback job at the University of Colorado. To fill those shoes, Gutierrez is looking at either junior Jack Pinkston or sophomore Miles Fallon.
They've got some great height. You know, they're able to see over the line. They're both about 6'2", 6'3" apiece, and just really, really phenomenal kids. You know, and I don't think you can have a better opportunity to see kids like that blossom. You know, I think people always, it's the $1 million question. You know, everywhere I go, it's like, who's going to be your QB? You know, if you're a true coach and you're someone that actually really loves this game, then you have to understand that you're always going to have that growth opportunity. That's what coaching is. It's coming out here and having to spend that time with the kids and seeing how well they progress. And I think, you know, with these two boys where they're at and they're putting in, you know, the work, they spend extra time, you know, they're sharing reps when we go to tournaments and stuff like that. And they clap each other up. You know, there is no animosity, there's no maliciousness. It's just like, let's get better. You know, let's get better together. And, you know, looking to the future, you know, I couldn't be happier, and I'm really excited.
Perhaps no set of identical twins have ever had better high school football careers in Santa Clarita than the Cabreras. Liam was named first team All-League last season as a receiver, and Israel was named first team All-League as a defensive back.
They're dynamite. They're the feistiest, toughest kids that I've ever coached. You know, as a head coach, I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be more blessed. I love them. I'm around them all the time. I don't think they know what half speed is, and I think that they set the tempo for the rest of the team when they're playing football. And the best part, too, is they're not only just going full speed, but they're doing it with this smile on their face and this zeal for passion. We're talking about Liam. You know, he was all CIF last year, and he was generally on that opposite end of a lot of Cade's passes and stuff. And his route running is just real specific. He sticks really well, and he's just ultimately extremely smart, understands the game, and you know, he also plays defense. When you have the feel for both sides, then you know where the pockets are, and you understand the game.
I mean, off the field, he's the nicest kid off the field. On the field, I see him like the meanest kid because he just wants to win. He will not take anything but a win. He's gritty, but he's humble. I mean, he works hard. Like you'll see him on Sundays, Saturdays, working, everything.
Izzy, to me, is absolutely just ultra aggressive, and he's committed. He's just an absolute fighter. He just has the drive to consistently want to make a stop, make a pick, make a play.
He pushes himself every single day to be better, and I think that pushes not only me, but Myron. We're all brothers, so he kind of sets the tone for us, and we just go off of him, and we just keep pushing ourselves every single day to get better.
Myron McAfee is a 3-year starter and 2-time All-League linebacker who will be counted on as a starting running back in 2014.
He's just solid. He's fantastic. Real north-south, makes big plays. Defensively, he's fundamentally sound. He's just a tough kid. But as a whole, you know, he's such a great young man. You know, he's phenomenal in the classroom. Academically, he's, you know, on the top of his class, and he brings that leadership to the field. He's something special to have on the team.
The offensive line loses all-leaguers Daniel David and Chris Reed, as well as Ethan Allen, to graduation. But a number of players with significant playing time return.
Jordan Sykes is returning. You know, he was a starter, and John Shemo, and, you know, he rotated in a lot last year. But what I'm really excited about is we have a lot of youth there, too. You know, we have Colton Costanza, he's getting some work in at center, and Justin Himalayan, who's a sophomore as well. We also have Tim Huss as a sophomore. You know, we have Cesar Ochoa, Brandon Pursley, Jonathan Redarty, Scott Davis. I mean, all these kids, you know, are young. Some of them have never played, but, you know, on the youth side, they're open. There's no bad habits. There's nothing, not that there was bad habits before, but they're so fresh that, you know, they're learning where they need to be and how to get it done.
In addition to the Cabrera twins and McAfee on the defense, the Cowboys return all-league linebacker and 3-year starter Austin Berry and Travis Clark.
You know, our schemes that we kind of implemented last year, there was a lot of adjustments made, new formations. You know, Coach Adams has done a great job, you know, kind of organizing that and being the voice of it. And I think he really drives the boys to get stronger, and it's good stuff.
For the Cowboys to claim a championship in 2014, Gutierrez says 2 words will be the key.
Mental toughness, and do we have that thirst, that unquenchable desire to improve? And if you don't, then we need to find it, or you need to go out there every single day and give everything you have. If you fail, that means at least you're going to your ceiling. The only way to find true greatness is failing. You know, it's the multiple times that you hit that wall until you eventually realize that there's, you know, other options or other ways to find that means to an end. Would I like to go further? Yeah, obviously. I think that's why we are in the game, to try to get to the highest level. But I love these kids, and I just want to see them get better as men. What we're doing today and all this beautiful stuff is the next step in life. Where are they going to be when they're men?
As we look at the Canyon Cowboys schedule, a very difficult schedule. 40-17, their non-league schedule. By the way, you look at Burbank, former Foothill League team, they lost in the semifinals last year of the Southeast Division. The bye week is right before league starts. Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, the team that finished 3rd in the Foothill League, and oh, by the way, they went on to win the CIF Championship, the Hart Indians and the Saugus Centurions. The 2014 Santa Clarita High School Football Preview Show is brought to you by Nissan of Valencia, home of the $99 down delivers.
Hi, I'm Dan Sturkle, General Manager of Nissan Valencia. I'm the all-new Dan Sturkle. Since that last commercial, I've lost over 99 pounds. What better way to celebrate than, you guessed it, $99 down delivers. Interested in the all-new redesigned 2014 Nissan Rogue? How about the all-new 2014 Versa Note with up to 40 miles to the gallon? Take one home today for only $99 down. Credit issues? Who gives a hoot? Not our banks. And with our great low prices, you can get into the vehicle you want with only $99 down. So what are you waiting for? Go to nissanofvalencia.com.
Living without glasses has been wonderful.
I've noticed right away, right when next couple of days, the sky seemed bluer.
I had the procedure because my husband came to Dr. Helm for cataract surgery, and he was really pleased with the results.
I was looking for somebody that had a reputation, somebody locally.
Through the whole procedure, he talked to me through it and told me exactly what was happening and what he was doing, and he just has excellent bedside manner.
If you're thinking about having laser vision correction, let me help you decide if it's right for you. We at Helm Vision Group believe in personal care and quality results. Come and see the difference.
For the best laser vision correction technology, Helm Vision Group on Turney Road in Valencia.
What's a jewelry store worth? Here's a hint. The real value isn't what's in the cases, it's the professionals behind them. Looking for a beautiful diamond at an exceptional value? Our gemologists are poised and ready for the hunt. Need a repair? A jeweler's bench is their playing field. Is a custom piece more your style? For designers, jewelry is an art.
At Classic Designs, we don't just sell jewelry, we live jewelry. What's our store's worth? Everything you need it to be. Classic Designs Jewelry in Valencia.
Welcome back to the 2014 Nissan of Valencia High School Football Preview Show. Mission accomplished for the Hart Indians in 2013. Despite finishing 3rd in league, the Indians defeated Valencia for their 9th CIF football championship and their 7th under legendary head coach Mike Harrington. What makes the feat all the more remarkable is it came just 2 years after Hart did not make the postseason, the first time that had ever happened in the 25 years Harrington has been the head coach. CIF Northern Division Player of the Year Connor Wingenroth has moved on to Colgate, but that doesn't mean Hart isn't returning big-time player.
Well, we have a good group coming back, even though we lose a lot this season, but you get a good step forward when you have your quarterback and one of the top receivers in the nation back. So we have a few linemen coming back. We got a lot of work to do on defense because we lost some great defensive personnel. But I think we got a good start to this upcoming season.
You know, this team doesn't have a ton of experience like last year's team, but I feel this team has a little bit of an edge, and I feel they're ready to compete.
I think we'll actually be an underdog in some games. I think teams maybe be like, oh, they lost guys, maybe they're not as strong, but I think we're definitely going to still shock some people, but we're going to keep at that level and keep progressing as the year goes by.
For the first time in Mike Harrington's coaching career, he will have a 3-year starting quarterback, Brady White. In 2013, White completed 64% of his passes for 4,535 yards and 41 touchdowns, with Rivals.com ranking him as the nation's #3 pro-style quarterback. White has verbally committed to Arizona State.
I expect him to take over the leadership role. He played with a group that the last 2 years, our last year's senior group, that had a lot of leadership in that group. And Brady, all he had to do was really play quarterback. Now he has to take the leadership role. Even though he was voted captain last year of our team, he still led the team, but not as vocal as he should be. And now he's stepped forward and done that for us so far this offseason. He's got the grasp of the offense down pat. He could probably go out there and call the game himself, but we're not going to let him do that.
Trent Irwin is nothing short of a superstar. A starter since his freshman year when he was named an All-American, Irwin has interest and offers from virtually every major college football program. In his Hart career, the 6'2", 200-pound wideout has caught 179 passes for 3,294 yards and 35 touchdowns. Will Trent Irwin be remembered as the greatest wide receiver to ever come out of the Santa Clarita Valley?
He's going to be one of the top 3 at least, if not the greatest. I'm sure the guys over at Canyon High School would say Wolotarski would be the greatest, but I think Trent has a lot of upside.
He's a humble kid. That's one thing that really stands out about him. There's a lot of guys who are, excellent athletes, great at their position, and kind of get a bigger head and think they're the man. He's very humble. He's always looking to help out other teammates. He's always working on his craft.
He just looks fantastic out there. I've had coaches throughout the summer say that's the best kid they've ever seen in the last 20 years as far as wide receiver goes.
With Wingenroth gone, the running back for 2014 is an open competition.
Well, right now we penciled in as Nelson James, who was our JV running back last season, and he looks pretty good. But there's some other kids that could be in the mix, but right now Nelson's the guy that we put back there.
Foothill League Lineman of the Year Blake Porter is now at Northern Arizona, with tackle Eric Stafford playing for the Mustangs of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Still, the offensive line has 3 other starters from last season returning.
Nick Presley, and we have a kid, one of our top guys right now, Ethan Quinn, who went down in the 5th game with an ACL, but he's back. He's 100% ready to go, and he's been practicing for the last 3 weeks with us. And Martin Zimmel also started for us. So we're trying to fill 2 spots with some younger guys. We have a good junior lineman that came up from the JVs that was up on the varsity at times, Colby Purcell, really big kid, looks really good. Jack McKeon, Steven Simon, all guys that could possibly fit in on that offensive line too.
The bulk of the defense that won Hart the CIF championship is gone. Most notably, first-team All-Leaguers David Russon and Garrett Updegraft. But one guy returning, expected to make a big contribution, is safety Blake Fall.
Yeah, he's going to be one of the top guys in the Foothill League as far as defensive players go. And, he's He's plays our strong safety, and he's going to be a big factor right there. The other parts of the defense, we're still trying to find. We lose linebackers. We lose most of the defense, almost all the defensive line. I got a couple kids that played a little bit, but the defense is going to be where we have to plug new kids in.
And the key for Hart to have success in 2014?
We're not going to give a team a game. It's going to be on us. So if we play a great game, I think we can win them.
Even though we're going to throw a lot, we still have to have a complementary running game. And then, like I said, how our front seven, I think, develops. And I think our secondary will be okay. But I think our front seven, that's going to be the key. And we probably won't find out until we get into battle.
So looking at the schedule for the Hart Indians, a very difficult non-league schedule. Look at week 2, Chaminade, state champions, a rematch from the regional championship, lost to the Chaminade Eagles. And by the way, Paraclete lost the Mid-Valley Championship, and Muir lost in the Southeast semis. Despite finishing 4th in the Foothill League, the Saugus Centurions knocked out number 3 seed Atascadero and number 6 seed Miracosta in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs last season, before finally losing to Valencia in the semifinals. With back-to-back 4th-place finishes since taking a share of the league title in 2011, the Centurions have demonstrated some of their toughest competition are its Santa Clarita neighbors.
Well, I see a lot of youth, a lot of experience at some positions, inexperience at others, a lot of potential growth and excitement, especially at the skill position. I'm really excited about our offensive and defensive line. I mean, yes, there's some holes to fill, but I like the kids that are stepping up and demonstrating that they're more than capable of doing the job.
After spring, we were all just relaxing and stuff, but when summer ball started, we all made that push, and you can really tell that we're coming together, and it's going to be a really good team this year. We're a bunch of scrappy dudes that play. Warren, our coach, he practices like it's a game every day, and that's just what got us to that level last year.
Chris Hamilton is going into his 4th year as a starter at Saugus and 3rd year as the team's quarterback. Last year, Hamilton completed 55% of his passes for nearly 2,000 yards and 20 touchdowns. He also added over 500 yards on the ground and 6 more scores.
He's a kid that goes out there. He just does what he has to get it done. I mean, he won't give up. Just his enthusiasm whenever he plays, just the way he surveys the defense, the way he puts us together on offense. He's always the one speaking up on offense to tell us what's going on.
The learning curve has been tremendously shortened. I mean, he understands what we're doing. We've designed everything that we do offensively to take advantage of his skill set. He's a strong, powerful runner. He's a very accurate thrower. He's got a powerful arm. He makes good decisions. And as a senior, there's no substitute for experience. The fact that he's been on varsity for 4 years and he's played in the playoffs, he also knows what it's like to not make it to the playoffs. So it's invaluable to have someone of his experience playing that position for us this year.
Here's Roop on 2nd down. Reed Roop and Blake Austin combined for over 1,700 yards rushing in 2013, with Roop getting 1,200 of those yards. They have graduated. Who will take over as the Centurions running back?
Replacing both of them is going to be awfully tough. Right now we're doing it by committee. We've got a couple guys that are doing it. Mark Langford, who played slot for us last year, has worked really hard in this offseason. He's gotten more explosive, stronger, bigger. He's going to play some of that running back position. And we've got some guys coming up from the JV level who we're hopeful will be able to compete and rotate in that position. David Aubrey, Jonathan Cordova, and a couple other guys that we'll just have to see how the season transpires and see how it goes.
Mark Langford will become a big part of the Saugus offense. In addition to being in the backfield this season, Langford will also be a wideout, proving to be Hamilton's favorite target last season with 60 catches.
Mark Langford, he's one of my best friends. I grew up with him. We've been friends since kindergarten. He's a dynamic player. I mean, his speed is underestimated for sure. Like, he reminds me a lot of like Wes Welker. His speed, his cuts, his route running is insane. I mean, he's definitely a big attribute to me, especially throwing the ball to him, because if it's near him, he's going to catch it.
That's our goal, is put the ball in Chris and Mark's hands and let them do what they do. We've got Cameron Combs playing wide receiver, Vinny Martucci returning, playing wide receiver, Madden Schaefer, a couple other kids coming up from the JV team that, you know, it's just exciting. It's exciting to see where these guys are going to fit in and how they're going to play out.
The offensive line features returning all-leaguers Stephen Allen and Christian Stevenson, and a big transfer from Alemany, Matt Pratchard. Bourne believes this unit is exceptional.
As a collective group, these guys have the potential to be the best that we've had since we've been here. Yes, we've had good lines here and there. We've had tremendous players, but as a collective group, this could be the most talented group that we've had come through.
The Centurion defense may be the biggest question going into 2014. 9 starters from last season have graduated, 4 of whom were all-league.
You can't talk enough about experience, and you know, when you lose 9 seniors, 5 of which had been on this team since their sophomore year, that's an awfully tall order to fill. But with that being said, we've got a lot of guys that had playing time last year as juniors, now they're seniors, as well as the guys that are coming up from the JV level that we're plugging in, and we're really excited about the prospects of what's going to transpire this year. Still questions need to be answered, especially when we get pads on, but we're excited about the prospect of what's coming up.
I see a lot of players trying to still find their niche on what they want to do. Some of our players are trying to try new positions, seeing where it cooks out. But I mean, we did have 9 players leave last year, but that doesn't mean anything. Our defense coming in is going to be just as good.
Going into his 13th year as the Saugus head coach, Jason Bourne knows exactly what his team has to do to be successful in 2014.
Hands down, number one, offensively, we've got to play fast. I mean, we are a no-huddle, up-tempo team. We only scratched the surface of what our capabilities were last year as the first year implementing that type of system with the tempo. We got to play fast this year offensively, try and rip off 80 to 90 plays a game, which is a tall order at the high school level, but it's doable. We did it twice last year, and we think that with the way that we're running things now, we can do that. Defensively, it's all about getting our hat on the ball, getting 11 ball players to the football every time. If we can do that on offense, do that on defense, coupled with protecting the football on offense, getting the ball back on defense, playing solid special teams like we traditionally do, then I think we'll be highly competitive.
Schedule for the Centurions shows in their non-league schedule their first 4 games to teams that were pretty much 500 last year, then their bye week before going against Camarillo, a team that went 10-2 last year. We're going to step away, and on the other side of this break, the West Ranch Wildcats and the Golden Valley Grizzlies as the 2014 Nissan of Valencia High School Football Preview Show continues. The 2014 Santa Clarita High School Football Preview Show is brought to you by Nissan of Valencia, home of the $99 down delivers.
Hi, I'm Dan Sturkle, General Manager of Nissan Valencia. I'm the all-new Dan Sturkle. Since that last commercial, I've lost over 99 pounds. What better way to celebrate than, you guessed it, $99 down delivers. Interested in the all-new redesigned 2014 Nissan Rogue? How about the all-new 2014 Versa Note with up to 40 miles to the gallon? Take one home today for only $99 down. Credit issues? Who gives a hoot? Not our banks. And with our great low prices, you can get into the vehicle you want with only $99 down. So what are you waiting for? Go to nissanofvalencia.com.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments. Time with friends. Lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
When I was diagnosed with breast cancer, Circle of Hope was there to help me with the doctor bills, with the medication costs,
with the emotional support I needed to help me through it all.
Circle of Hope supported me through my fight with gracious hearts and complete gratitude.
As Santa Clarita's only nonprofit breast cancer organization, Circle of Hope provides financial, emotional, and educational assistance to breast cancer patients who live, work, or receive treatment here in Santa Clarita Valley. 100% of your financial contribution will stay right here in the SCV. With your support, Circle of Hope is making a difference today for a brighter future tomorrow.
Since 1978, Sierra Canyon School has been developing leaders for the future, a place where young minds are inspired, motivated, and empowered, where relationships are cultivated in diverse settings, and where curiosity, confidence, and creativity are nurtured. We specialize in customized education for the artist, the athlete, the scholar, and the dreamer. Sierra Canyon School, fostering a community of excellence. Located less than 20 minutes from Santa Clarita in the San Fernando Valley.
The only way to find true greatness is failing. It's the multiple times that you hit that wall until you eventually realize that there are other ways to find that means to an end.
This is about us, turning young boys into men, and that's what we try to do here, is give these guys life skills to be better people when they leave us.
Welcome back to the 2014 Nissan of Valencia High School Football Preview Show. West Ranch lost a host of all-league seniors who led this team. Running back Christian Parrish accounted for 70% of the offense, while defensive end Alex Rasul led the league with 18.5 sacks, averaged nearly 7 tackles per game, and even returned an interception for a touchdown against Hart. Rasul is now a walk-on at UCLA.
That's hard to replace, but we got guys that'll step up in those areas. We don't have a marquee running back. We'll have to run by running back by committee. The coaches here do a good job with the players that we get, and the players that we get give us 100%, and we get every ounce of energy out of them.
The Wildcats do have one key returner, quarterback Chase Killingsworth, who is being recruited to play in the Ivy League. As an all-league honorable mention in 2013, Killingsworth completed 67% of his passes for over 1,400 yards and 15 touchdowns.
Much better leader this year. What a big difference from junior to senior year. Like, this is his team, and he's accepted that role, and he's really he's dove into it. And we were concerned about that, I think, in the beginning. But it's just one of those things. You go, you know what? Junior year, he didn't feel like it was his team, and this year he feels like it's his team, and he's taken the role, and he's accepted the juniors as part of it, and he's been a great leader for this team. I look forward to watching him play this year.
I wouldn't want any other quarterback. He's a great guy on the field and off the field. Funny, good, smart. He's good. He's improved a lot over the years. You can totally tell from film, just watching him on Fridays. And the team chemistry is just there. Just hang out all the time and stuff like that with all the receivers. The chemistry is good for him and for our team.
The receivers Killingsworth will have to throw to have some experience, but more importantly, they have athleticism.
Honestly, I like my receiving core this year. I got Zachary Hines. He goes to all the combines. He's clocked on the electric timer at 4.51, so he has speed. Brandon Moskal, Kobe Diamond, Bronson Fuhr. We got good receivers.
Being a military man, Miller prefers the conditioned athlete over the bulk. But after his first year as a varsity coach, he now sees the need for more size on his offensive line.
While we were well conditioned, we were being pushed around a lot. I mean, we were never tired, but we weren't that strong. Last year I didn't have any kids that bench pressed over 300 pounds. Right now I got 11 linemen that do it.
In addition to Rasul graduating, the defense loses two-year starters and all-leaguers Gage Tynan, Trevor Alshire, and Isaiah Guzman. Miller believes in 22 starters, no two-way players, so most of his defense will be young and inexperienced.
My defense is going to consist of a lot of 11th graders. I'm one of those coaches, I do like to get 11 on each side and rotate them rather than start 11 here and have 5 of them start here. If the number 2 guy's that close, then we just try and coach him up, and then we take it from there. And I know that's not some coaches don't believe in that philosophy. Best 11 players on the field, no matter what. But I think the level competition is close enough that we can do that. And if it doesn't, then I put those guys in. It's an easy fix.
Since last making the playoffs in 2010, the Wildcats have gone 9-6 against non-league opponents, but 3-12 in the Foothill League.
First of all, in the Foothill last year, we had two poor games, Valencia and Saugus. And I take the responsibility for both those games. Bad game plan. But you know, against Hart, Canyon, and Golden Valley, we were in those games. You know, Canyon beat us. It was 7-6 at halftime. They beat us 28-6. So we weren't too far off with what we had.
So as we take a look at the West Ranch schedule for the 2014 season, it is the weakest non-league schedule based on last year's records in the Foothill League. The only team with a winning record from a year ago, Thousand Oaks, in the 4th game of the season. After 3 years, Robert Fisher decided to step down as head coach of the Golden Valley Grizzlies, but remain as the school's athletic director. In his place is Dan Kelly, who in 3 years as the head coach at Arleta High School went 26-7 overall and won 2 East Valley League championships. Together with Jeff Engelman, the two coaches have won city section championships at Sylmar and Arleta. Now they take over a Golden Valley program that has yet to win a Foothill League game in 40 tries.
I got here in January. The staff was established in January, and the kids bought into the weight program. We started right away. We didn't have very much field space here, so we started doing things on the blacktop because we had to put in an offense and a defense, and the kids needed to get to know the coaches. So once soccer season was over and we were able to come out here, the kids were excited to learn a new offense and learn a new defense, and we've come a long way.
I think a problem we've always had was we didn't have the coaching, because we've had players in the past, and I think us really buying into what Coach Kelly and Coach Engelman have brought from their success is really going to be a big turnaround, because everyone bought in from day one, and since then, I mean, we've seen success.
Coaching staff brings a winning attitude, something that we haven't really had much of, and I think that's a big part of what we really needed, just that winning attitude, because we got the talent, we just, again, need that attitude.
Perhaps the biggest challenge before Kelly and his staff is changing the culture from a team that has never won a league game to a team that knows it will dominate an opponent.
I think the culture is changing, but it's going to be an ongoing situation here at Golden Valley. Is it going to take 6 months to a year, 2 years? I don't know, but I'm definitely in it for the long haul to make it happen.
We need to go into every game thinking that we're going to blow out every team. We need to have that mindset that we're the best team in this league, we're the best team in Southern California. That needs to be our mindset, and I believe Coach Kelly, Coach Engelman, they're implementing that mindset into us.
We demand a lot out of these kids throughout the spring and also summer. We're going through some growing pains when it comes to guys being on time, guys making sure they're here at practice, and also, you know, that working hard on the field, working hard in the classroom. And I believe character is built in the classroom, and it's shown in the weight room and also out here on the field.
Senior Eric Zarate will take over as quarterback for the Grizzlies after being a backup the last 2 years. In limited action last season, Zarate completed 6 of 22 passes for 71 yards and 3 interceptions.
He's worked hard. I mean, the kid really works hard in the weight room. He's very strong in the weight room. He's a big kid. He manages the offense pretty well. He still has a long way to go. I mean, a new system. You know, I think he played in 2 other systems prior to this, so it's a lot for a high school kid to take in and develop on.
He knows this is like his kind of showing up party and going out party at the same time. So he notices, like, everything that I'm about to make, I have to make it happen now. And if I really want something to happen, I got to do it now. I got to find my guys. And he's buying into everything Coach Kelly's doing. I mean, they're going to the classroom studying stuff. They're spending extra time during individual studying. I think Coach Kelly's brought him a long way. He's looking really good.
Several juniors will be making the jump to varsity from a JV team last year that soundly defeated West Ranch 39-0 for their only league win. Among them is Shane Tamura, who is going to try to duplicate an all-league season provided by his older brother Terry at running back.
He had a great year last year. I've watched some highlight on him, and he, you know, he's very exciting to watch when you get him in space. He's a playmaker. There's a few other guys from the JV. The JV team had a pretty good year last year that I think are going to be players. Plus, a gentleman here at running back, Anthony Perez, who's played, you know, he hasn't really got much playing time in the last few years, but I think this year you're going to see him do some things.
Wideout Jacob Gilliland is the only returning all-leaguer from a year ago. Just a junior, Gilliland will be expected to be an impact player on both sides of the ball.
Jake's a real exciting player. He's got a great nose for the ball at free safety. Played as a 10th grader last year on the varsity. Wide receiver, he's got great hands. He's a natural football player, and we're looking for big things from him.
In the last couple of years, the strength of the Grizzlies has been their offensive line, which had size and speed.
I think we're athletic at offensive line. We're not as big as Golden Valley's been in the last few years. We've moved Alex Harigi, who played tight end for them last year. We moved him to left tackle to give us some speed there to protect the quarterback's back. And he's also developed really well in the weight room. You know, he's one of the strongest guys we have in there, and he's done some great things out here so far as a nose guard and as a left tackle on offense. Defensively, the Grizzlies gave up 40 points a game during the season, a number that balloons to 50 points a game during league. Our defense coordinator is Don Scott. He's done a great job of bringing in what we call the 3-3-5 or the 3-4 defense. We're going to be very, come at people at different angles, and we're going to try to use our athletes and our speed to go after the quarterback and cover better. For Kelly and the Grizzlies, a successful 2014 will come down to one word: teamwork. I think both defensive, offensively, and special teams. We've got a great turnout out here. You know, the best thing to be is 2 to 3 deep. We're very talented in the backfield. We're very talented at wide receiver. We're very talented in the defensive backfield. So the competitive edge is there, and I think staying healthy, especially playing the league that we play in and also playing in the non-conference schedule we're playing, and then keeping that excitement up every week to perform. You know. And it's about competing, and it's about finishing the game. You know, you can't play two quarters, 3 quarters, and I've had that problem in some of my other programs. You've got to play 4 solid quarters of football and then let it play out.
And as we take a look at the Golden Valley Grizzlies schedule for the upcoming season, 2 of the 5 non-league teams had winning records last year, and overall, those 5 teams finished 26 and 28. We're going to take a break, and when we return, the Santa Clarita Christian Cardinals and the team that finished as the #1 8-man team in the state, the Trinity Classical Academy Knights. The 2014 Santa Clarita High School Football Preview Show is brought to you by Nissan of Valencia, home of the $99 down delivers.
Hi, I'm Dan Sturkle, General Manager at Nissan Valencia. I'm the all-new Dan Sturkle. Since that last commercial, I've lost over 99 pounds. What better way to celebrate than, you guessed it, $99 down delivers. Interested in the all-new redesigned 2014 Nissan Rogue? How about the all-new 2014 Versa Note with up to 40 miles to the gallon? Take one home today for only $99 down. Credit issues? Who gives a hoot? Not our banks. And with our great low prices, you can get into the vehicle you want with only $99 down. So what are you waiting for? Go to nissanofvalencia.com.
At Global Protective Services, we are leaders in security. Whether you're looking for on-site security, mobile patrols, safety training, or site safety assessments, Global Protective Services is here for you. Our highly trained guards are carefully vetted, screened, and trained by experienced professionals. At Global Protective Services, we have a vested interest in protecting the SCV because this is where we call home. Global Protective Services, doing our part to keep Santa Clarita safe.
Welcome back to the 2014 Nissan of Valencia High School Football Preview Show. Since making the jump to 11-man football in 2011, the Santa Clarita Christian Cardinals are 17 and 15 overall. Last year, they made the playoffs in the Northeast Division for the 2nd time as an 11-man team, losing in the first round to Mission Prep. This program is clearly moving forward, and according to 14-year head coach Garrick Moss, with new coaches and an experienced quarterback, 2014 could be their best season yet.
3 years of 11-man we've had, and we've made the playoffs 2 out of 3, and probably our most successful season didn't make it, and should have, we felt. But so to be a playoff team pretty much every year, or in the hunt for a playoff spot, we're very pleased with how we transitioned from 8-man to 11-man.
I really think that this team is better, just because I see the hard work, and it's just they work really hard. They work harder than last year, and the coaching staff was really help having Coach Chaz here, a Division I quarterback, and he knows his stuff, and he's been teaching us, and I think we can really do big things this year.
Jonathan Saavedra became a starting quarterback his freshman year. Now a senior, Saavedra completed 62% of his passes last season for over 1,900 yards and 15 touchdowns. He also averaged nearly 8 yards a carry running the ball.
I would say his athleticism is his biggest strength. He can run like a little bit like a running back, a receiver. He'd probably, if you put him at receiver, he'd probably be one of our best receivers. He could play safety, he could play corner. He's an athlete first. But his arm strength is really, really good. I mean, he can throw all the throws. You know, you talk about the different depths, different sides of the field, the deep outs, the deep ball. He can make all the throws, and he's put in the work. I mean, he's done his 4th year now of high school football, and he's putting in the work it takes to do all the little things that'll make him better. And again, Chaz Anderson's been just vital in his preparation for this upcoming season.
Man, I go on and on about John. You know, I think one of the things that we first of all, we love playing with each other. You know, I know there's great combinations like, you know, Brady White and Trent Irwin. Me and John feel like we can gel just about anybody, you know. And I'm telling you personally, he makes the game easy for me. You know, all I know is if I run my route and I get where I'm supposed to be and beat my guy, he's going to put it there, at least give me a chance.
Cameron Lewis is the kind of football athlete that only comes along once a decade. The 6'1" wideout runs a 4.58 40, led the Cardinals basketball team to the CIF championship game, and carries a 3.7 GPA.
He hasn't even realized how good he can be. He's always been athletic. He can jump high, run fast, catch the ball.
He's a security blanket for me. You know, just every time I'm in trouble, I just give him the ball, and he makes me look good. So whenever I throw a bad pass, he always makes those acrobatic catches, and it's really fun to have him.
We're going to get him the ball in a variety of ways, whether it's catching the ball, handoffs, throwing the ball. He can return kicks, return punts. So he's going to be a special player for us on both sides of the ball.
Despite having a sub-500 record overall in 2013, the defense was strong, giving up just 20 points a game on average. All-Leaguers Danny Blake and Derek Lewis, who is now at Kansas Wesleyan, anchored that defense.
Those two are big holes to fill. They were pretty big guys, but two, they were in the program the whole time. They were in football their whole lives. They were passionate. So those are big holes to fill. And so again, we're gonna change kind of the style of our defense into more of an attacking defense, where we can put smaller guys at linebacker and use them with their speed and their strengths. They're not going to sit there and take on blocks of offensive linemen and try and hold their ground and fill holes. They're going to have to attack.
Team football, and you know, that's 12 guys to the ball, everybody competing, you know, whereas last year, a little bit athletes, you could trust guys. It's going to take a team effort this year, so that's the main thing, I think, is just being ready to play team football.
With little more than 30 players on the roster, Moss says the Cardinals must stay healthy to continue their growth forward.
It's going to be tough to win league, but that's our goal, and we feel we can do it. Last year we missed it by 3 points against Capo and a touchdown, or 12 points against Saddleback, and those are the type of teams we need to be able to beat to get into the playoffs and get a better first-round game. So we're not playing the Mission Preps, the #1 seed. So our goal is to always win league, and we feel we have a good shot. If we put it all together, put this offense in that's really unstoppable if it's run right. It's an offense that basically options off of the defense. What they're running, we change basically at the line of scrimmage. We're running up-tempo, hurry up, you know, really wearing a defense down. And so if we run that like it's designed and play attacking, fast, aggressive defensive football, we're going to have a great shot at winning league, and that's why we're working out so hard.
And as we look at the schedule for Santa Clarita Christian, the Cardinals have a very easy non-league schedule. 17, 36-1 among those 5 teams that they'll be facing. In fact, the first 2 teams, Lutheran and Malibu, last year a combined 1-19. In just 5 years of existence, the Trinity Classical Academy Knights have become the #1 ranked 8-man football team in the state of California. Not only did the team win the CIF Division II championship, but it became the first high school in Santa Clarita history to win 2 CIF championships in the same school year, when the basketball team claimed the crown. With the team on top, head coach Mike Buchanan decided to step down. Replacing him is a veteran coach who spent the last 15 years as a coach at Saugus and Santa Clarita Christian, Les Robinson.
Well, it is a big change, but I think we're all used to Coach Rob by now. We've been in the weight room since February, getting used to him, getting used to his coaching style, getting used to the plays, just how he is. He's an awesome guy. Everything he says is true, on point. I trust him with everything. He's never led me astray. Everything from the FCA camp to form in the weight room to how to get off the line faster, everything. He's a great guy. I really like him.
it is definitely a rebuilding year, but it's definitely for the better. Coach Rob has the plan for us to go to 11-man in just a few short years, so we're definitely advancing our program.
Most coaches will talk about an offense, a defense, or even certain players when asked about a team's strengths. But Trinity is unique.
It's their brains. Honest, it's their brains. They're able to process very quickly. They're able to learn very quickly. And so far, what I've seen on the field, it works on the field. I mean, they're not stunned. They react very quickly, and they're competitive. They're brothers. They're legitimately close. I mean, like they've been raised in the same house for a number of years.
Colton Oshiro returns as the starting quarterback for the Knights. Splitting time last year, Oshiro completed 51% of his passes for 786 yards and 16 touchdowns. He also ran for 181 yards, caught 5 passes, and scored another 5 touchdowns.
Colton's a very bright kid. I think his grade point average is 4.54. Don't have to tell him the same thing more than once. And that's good because I'm teaching them a new offense, but he's a great kid, hard worker, strong kid. He benches 260 at quarterback, yes, and has over 315, 320 squat. So he's something to be reckoned with. I think some people are going to get quite a surprise if they get a chance to hit him. I think he's going to hit them. I'm sure he's going to hit them.
Spencer Klenn was an all-CIF running back last season who has now moved on to West Point. Robinson will be looking to some youngsters to fill those impressive shoes.
First of all, we have a returning sophomore, Caden Cope, who is Patch Cope's younger brother. He will fill some of that, some of the void left by Klenn and Patch. But also we have a freshman. He looks like he's going to be pretty special. Ryan Damaris. He's about 5'11", about 175, 78 pounds, 180 pounds, and he looks like the real deal. I think he's the next guy. Between those two, we're going to be able to have some fun.
The majority of the offensive line that will also fill the defensive line returns.
We have our center returning. That would be Trey Christopher. Trey's actually the largest lineman on the team last year. He'll be returning at center or guard. We have his younger brother. We call him Hobbs Christopher. He's about 210 pounds. He'll be a freshman. And then we have our right guard, who is Jordan Thomas, who's a returner. He's returning at right guard and also defensive tackle, and he will be one of our top linemen both ways, Jordan Thomas.
Last year, the defense gave up just 12 points per game, which is remarkable considering
practically everyone scores. It's very hard to keep people from scoring, but if you can stop them from scoring, you can win a lot of games with a staunch defense, and I think we have the makings of that.
Robinson has a big task to fill as the new coach of the defending CIF 8-man Division II champion Knights. He believes if this team stays healthy, they will be back for the big game.
If we can get a few more players, keep the players we have healthy, I think we can do it. I mean, I tell people that I think we can do it, but we'll do it a different way. We won't be a power team. We'll be more cerebral. We'll be reading. We'll be moving. We're going to have some fun. Every time I think about it, just a little smile comes on my face. If we do what I think we can do, we're going to have some fun. The people in the stands are going to have fun. We're going to have fun.
We're definitely outsized, but as long as we stick to what we know and take care of the minor details, work on that precision aspect, and just execute with energy and just keep building ourselves for the next years, I think we'll be very successful in 2014.
The key for Trinity this season is to stay focused, to stay healthy, keep working hard, don't look at other people, focus on us, and listen to Coach Rob. See you in the championship.
1, 2, 3, nice!
And as we take a look at the Trinity schedule, notice it's just 9 games that consist their regular season. But look on Saturday, October 11th, they will play Albert Einstein Academy, a team that is in their 2nd full year of high school football here in Santa Clarita. Well, that's going to do it for the 2014 Nissan of Valencia High School Football Preview Show. Next year, it's going to be 9 high schools we cover, as we're going to be adding Albert Einstein Academy to the mix. My thanks to the players, coaches, and supporters of all the Santa Clarita high school football teams for allowing us access. And I also want to thank John Turner and Brian Necessary for allowing us to be here tonight on the Hart High football field. For everyone associated with SCVTV Sports, I'm Dave Caldwell. Thanks for being here, and we will see you again next time.